Yo, what's up, aliens? Ahi here. You're tuning in to episode 3 of the Wub Theory podcast. Today, I got two amazing friends and producers on here, Manic Focus and SoDown. What's up, y'all?
What's up? What's
Say
up?
hi.
How's it going?
Um, so I've known about y'all for years now, and it's funny how we've each individually come and into contact with each other. Like John, like I think I've been listening to your music for a while and seeing you on festival lineups, and then you randomly reached out to me to work on some music. I don't know if we can talk about that yet, but then,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I thought that was interesting. And then SoDown, I actually remember when you won the UNS contest.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I never won the ounce challenge.
Really? For some reason in my mind, I thought you did win, or you were winning or something like that.
No.
You won in my mind, apparently.
Yeah, that was such a crazy contest.
Yeah, I remember working
Yeah.
I felt like I was like pushing, to get people's emails like real hardcore during that time.
It was so spammy, dude.
Yeah. But also, the UNS, they've provided a lot of amazing opportunities. So I got to give a shout out to that. But
Absolutely. It was a huge opportunity. Yeah, and I really appreciate them and those guys. But thinking back, it's crazy. It's just crazy. I feel like shit like that doesn't exist anymore.
yeah, I know what you mean. Well, because now it's like, I don't know, like how I guess there are DJ competitions and remix competitions because that's I did the what's it called, the Bass Rush one, and I got on their dubstep compilation whatnot. But
Okay.
yeah, so there's some things, but nothing like
Maybe I'm
what
just
Ons
not as
had where they
tuned
put
in.
you on like a bunch of festivals. I
Yeah.
think that was the really unique thing about that. But you participated in the contest at least. I
Yeah.
remember that.
I tried.
Yeah,
I tried.
I think
I was
that's
up
when I
there,
started
dude. I was up
hearing.
there.
That's when I first started hearing about you.
Sick.
And I started
Nice.
listening to your music, and y'all have both like grown through all that, and I think that's super cool. Like, how did John? How did you first start getting into making music?
I started producing man like 22 years ago. I was making beats in grade school on Fruity Loops 3, and
What?
I was using Rebirth as well. Like in sixth grade, there was this software. It was the predecessor to Reason. It's called Rebirth, and it had two 303s, a 808 and a 909, and then sequencers all on one side, and you could make different sequences, but then when you wanted to record a song you had to like click around to like there was no arrange.
Whoa.
And I just really loved like the idea of creating sequences and layering ideas. So yeah, I got into it when I was really young, but then early on I made a little bit of techno, and then I just made like hip hop beats for like a decade. I was just making just rap beats, and I was rapping a little bit with my friends and in my parents' basement. And
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Sick.
and then I took a little break, and then I heard I like attended my first festival, and it was the first North Coast, and I saw let's see, Pretty Lights, Chemical Brothers, um Moby, and it's just an insane lineup. There's like Lupe Fiasco, Nas, and Damian Marley, and I was like, "Whoa, I really want to be a part of this." And I didn't really have any music connections, and I just started making, um, like electronic funk, hip hop, kind of like progressive rap beats, where it's just like it still has like the hip hop beat element, but there's synths and little vocal chops to kind of like carry it as a song, as opposed to like verse chorus.
I can totally hear how your sound has evolved from those kinds of ideas.
Yeah, and yeah, and then just started moved to Chicago and played um, opening gigs, local gigs. Uh, Played like a lot of empty shows. Like played in a bowling alley. I DJ'd that, and DJ'd, like a little closet and some nightclubs and then started building a fan base. This Song Is Sick really helped me out a lot. Actually, they heard me and started posting my music.
The blog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nick Garino and all the guys at This Song Is Sick. But they started posting my remixes, and then that really helps kind of launch a fan base and expand on that.
That's amazing. And then now you're doing all sorts of stuff, and y'all made this amazing song, Cliffs, that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But Aaron, what got you into making music?
Well, I was in business school in like 2010, and I was always a huge music fan, but not like huge into dance music or electronic music. I love like hip hop and reggae and ska. Sublime is one of my favorite bands ever. Alternative rock, like underground hip hop, like Immortal Technique and Atmosphere. And my buddy was like, "Yo, you got to come to the show with me." And I was like, "All right, I'll check it out. Cool." And we went to see Pretty Lights at Red Rocks, and it was just like the most magical experience ever. And then I couldn't get enough. I was going to like 2 or 3 shows a weekend for like probably like 6 or 7 months. And after a show one night, we were all like beatboxing on a patio at like 3 a.m. And I was like, I got some good ideas. Like, I think I could do this. And yeah, from then on, it was basically like full grind mode. I dropped out of school, moved back in with my parents, and just like learned how to produce, I guess.
What was your first DAW?
Ableton.
It was Ableton?
Yeah.
That's so something I hear from both of y'all that Pretty Lights was one of y'all's first like big concerts, and it totally makes sense, honestly.
Yeah.
Listening to y'all's funk-based, bass music.
Yeah.
You just had such like a fresh kind of take on music to me. Like it was kind of a combination of sample-based beats and had a little bit of that kind of like mashup style, where you would take a couple popular songs that you knew and just take like a little line of it. And then the synth work was just stuff, nobody had really heard, and really good melodies and stuff. So it was just like such a cool take on how to approach, a song or how to make, a mood.
Yeah, where do you think, like, okay, so this is the whole thing with with the Wub Series podcast is like, where do you think that inspiration came from for Pretty Lights? Because like around that era, like when did y'all first see Pretty Lights, or when did he first jump onto the scene? Was that like 2007 or earlier, or
I saw him in 2010.
2010?
I think
that was like my first introduction. And I saw Rusko shortly after that. And then Zed's Dead, and I just couldn't get enough of the heavy shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw him around 2010 or yeah, but I think the Pretty Lights project started, I think you're right, in 2007. And before that there was a project that Derek had called Listen, that was like a hip hop band kind of thing.
Well, he still seems like he's interested in like because he's done a few live band like shows and whatnot, and y'all both incorporate live elements in your shows as well.
Yeah.
Did that come from? Were y'all in bands before doing solo electronic stuff?
I was not. No, I played guitar and I had a drum set. I took piano lessons. I played cello way back in the day.
And then how'd you get on the saxophone?
I don't know. It just like it was something that was really interesting to me,
Yeah.
and I just bought one and had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even
Really?
know
You
you
didn't you
needed
didn't play it in
reeds.
like a middle school band or anything like
No,
that? Whoa,
no,
crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
that's how I usually hear people are introduced to playing instruments is like middle school band or whatever, you know.
yeah.
That's how I played the bass clarinet in middle school band.
Sick,
Nice.
nice.
Big honker.
Yeah,
And I don't
that's
know, it was
awesome.
weird. The guy who was playing the other one would like try to bite me. And I was like, I don't like
What do you
band.
mean he would try to bite
He'd
you?
try to bite me, just like
Like
randomly in
literally bite
class.
you?
Yeah. I was just like, nah, I'm not into playing the bass clarinet. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
bit.
I thought you meant like he was biting your style. Like,
No, he was biting my flesh.
Literally.
wow.
That's hilarious.
But that's middle school. John, did you play any instruments? You play keys, right?
Yeah, I played classical piano when I was really young and did like, the kind of standard like concerto competitions and that kind of thing when I was really young. And then I never really had like a band. I did kind of jam with some friends later. And like I said before, I'd done like, make rap beats and then my friends come over and we just loop the beat and freestyle or
Mm,
whatever. But I never actually like performed uh, in like a band or anything.
mm.
Did some rap battles,
Rap
but
battles?
yeah.
Oh, wait, what age?
I did one when I was 19, and then another. I tried to do the Scribble Jam prelims and got wiped out in the first round.
Oh,
The guy ended up winning, so I didn't feel
oh,
too
okay.
bad later. But I choked so hard in the second round, or the second verse, and I was like, oh, this guy's way too good.
Is that like freestyle?
Yeah, like just you just freestyle battle. This
Do you
wasn't
have some shit in your head though, or are you like
kind of like
off top?
it's a little bit of both. Like it's kind of like when I would freestyle with my friends, I'd have certain kind of like word banks. So you would have like things that end in this kind of
Right.
phrase and things that end in
Yeah.
this, and you'd have a couple rhymes that you could kind of lean on to like buy yourself time to come up with
Yeah.
a punchline. Was mostly thinking about like the punchline and then use that word bank to make a setup and then connect it all. But
Interesting. So you had like there was like a almost a template, that you could go for, but that allowed for improvisation.
yeah, kind of. It blows my mind some of the rappers today that their vocabularies are so tremendous, and having that kind of concept of like a word bank I've found really helps as far as things you can rhyme with, and especially when you're freestyling, having like, all right, all these words rhyme, all these words rhyme. If I want to say this, I can go from like here to here, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, interesting. I never thought about that. Yeah, having like a pathway to get from one destination to another
yeah,
lyrically. That's
yeah.
interesting. See, I can't rap. I can only rap in gibberish. I just bypass all the vocabulary entirely, and just every word I say is made up. I've
Nice.
been
So
trying.
you're like, it's like a lot of mainstream rap these days.
I think they're pulling from it, but mine makes even less sense. And
You
sometimes
could just end every phrase with yeah, like just I'm holding a pen. Yeah,
yeah.
I got my vape. Yeah, I did.
Wait, hold on a second. I think you're onto something. You could do a new beatbox battle with that. And I'll just Sema to come cielo tivo, shema the last, save the dash, sheba sabota viso. See, I don't know what I'm saying though.
There you go.
I thought you were speaking French or
That's
something
tight.
crazy.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
That's actually how my girlfriend and I met 8 years ago. Was our first conversation was in complete gibberish
Oh,
to a tipper set, Lucidity. and that we didn't speak any English to each other for our first meeting, and then like parted ways, and then saw each other again like a week later at a Alex Gray show in a different city, and I was like, "Oh, there's that girl I spoke gibberish with. She was cool." And we've been
Awesome
together for like 8
conversation.
years.
It's so
some
wild, those experiences though. Like I've definitely had conversations speaking complete gibberish, but having complete understanding. At least I thought I did.
language, it's more than just the words. It's also the how you say them in the context in which you say them, in the body language as
Yeah.
well,
I noticed that's really true on like when we're on stage. Sometimes the microphone or the room you can't really hear exactly what the person's saying. And I've noticed like if I'm in that kind of scenario, as long as my inflection goes up, you'll get like part of the yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, because you never know how the microphone is routed for every show. They might not even have it. You're just like up there yelling into the void over the bass. Yeah, that is really interesting. So, do you think like the body language also has something to do? Like when playing a show, do y'all notice like I notice my body language changes when I get in a flow, like in a set.
Yeah.
100%.
Like I almost feel like, I don't know, do y'all experience this where you almost lose your thinking mind?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
Especially like in the middle of a song, like if I don't have to transition or think about the next move for a while, like it's like here's that 10-15 seconds depending on how fast you're like mixing, where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just like vibing out.
Yeah, but do you think, I feel like that vibing out thing, it's like it doesn't seem like a technical talent. It's like no one's training in how to vibe out, but I feel like that actually does carry through in the performance. Do y'all
I don't
feel
know.
that?
There's definitely people who talk about flow state and like the best ways to get into it.
Uh, yeah, I'm sure you've experienced that before. Like, what's your
Yeah, I mean, we
relationship
all
with
have,
the
I'm
flow
sure.
state and performance?
Well, it's when you're hyper focused, basically,
Mm.
right? Like no external buzz is happening. You just have one thing that you're focused on. For me,
Yeah.
it happens. All the most fun things in life happen in flow state, like playing music, writing music, skiing, driving super fast, good sex, you know.
And so this is what I'm trying to get at is like, is the flow state like, is that because I feel like there's something very intricately connected between inspiration and flow state, where it's like, is the flow state like, is sometimes I almost feel like it's something like acting through us or something, like
The
some sort of,
muse.
yeah, some sort of, I don't know, it's called the muse, some sort of soul or spirit, or like what's the thing that like is trying to express itself through the flow state or through inspiration.
I can't remember where I heard it, but it was like someone in like a lecture or something saying like how he doesn't create art, it just like flows through him and we're like merely a vessel for translating it. And that like, that flow state would be that energy that's, just kind of coursing through you. And if you're proficient at whatever you're practicing, be it like visual art, music, even sports or something, then the flow state is just like energy. And then it's not even really like we're creating stuff, we're just merely like facilitating creation.
Yeah.
It's
And
almost like a high.
yeah.
Like I don't know if I've ever experienced anything like more exciting than like when you're writing music and you just have so many ideas flowing through that you can't get them out fast enough, you know?
Mhm.
It's just like this. It's like I don't know, it feels like a glowing, happy, like golden energy that's just like fucking zooming. And it's so euphoric.
Absolutely. Honestly, I feel like I experienced that in creating this remix, which might be a good
Yeah.
segue into checking out the remix now.
Nice, dude.
All right, so first, before we get into the remix, I want to touch up on the original. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right, can y'all see the Ableton project?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So these are the stems that you sent me. I just want to touch on a few things and ask y'all a few questions about this before I show my Ableton project. Is maybe let's play a little bit of the drop. Oh, hold on a second. I might not have hit the right button. Yeah, now it should work. Okay, let's play a little bit of this. Y'all can hear it? I just love the saxophone part. Also, I feel like it's got, where's the, I can hear these little twinkly bits. Is that you playing, John?
That was Aaron.
That was Aaron?
Yeah. We I
can't remember.
the chords, and we played a lot with the synth sounds.
Yeah. Well,
I actually wrote like 3 different songs when writing this song.
Yeah.
really?
It was a journey for sure.
Yeah.
How did, so did y'all like basically, how did it start?
So I
It
had
started with something you sent me.
Yeah, I sent him a track. I was like, "Hey, let's collab. Give me a tempo and a key." And I really liked working at stuff at the time. I was trying to make things that were around the 130 to 140 range
Yeah.
for my sets, so I could get from 120 to 140 easier.
Yeah.
And so he gave me the key and the tempo, and I made something. And I had these like chord progression that I really liked, and I also liked the having the drop hit like not starting in the root, but like starting like a fifth, da, da, you know.
Mm.
And yeah, we played with like a bunch of different synths and drums. He sent me something back, and then we got in the studio a couple times together and just kept bouncing back and forth.
Nah, there was the whole middle tune.
Yeah, we had a totally different
There's
one.
a whole nother song.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Yeah.
the Middle Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's like
middle
this
tune.
like huge like RL Grimes sounding kind of future bass trap thing.
It wasn't as it was I felt like that one was cool, but it wasn't as it was missing like the kind of like the synth stuff. Like I think
Oh yeah, it was not like sound designy or
yeah,
synth heavy at all.
it was cool, but then I was trying to think from like a fan perspective, like for our collab, I'd want to hear some sound design stuff because as a SoDown fan, I love some of the sound design that Aaron's got, and
Me too.
And so I think that we wanted to bring I thought we should bring our strengths as that element to it. So then we revamped it with some some cool synth design.
Speaking of sound design, y'all used
Yeah,
a preset or two of mine
yeah,
from the Serum Alien bass, but y'all like modified it into your own
yeah,
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I like kind of rebuilt them a little bit because it was initially one sound. I think it's that main like wobbly bass
That
sound. Yeah,
it,
and then there's a
I think it's that little bit right there.
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Was it that one?
I think it
Yeah.
was, yeah. And I
Okay.
played with the other one too.
Okay. I remember there was one that
I love the flow of it. The phrasing's really nice. But yeah, but this one is definitely from I could pull up the Serum patch, but
Yeah. I
we don't
think
need to get into
in the
that.
patch that you had, it goes up or it goes down.
Yeah, it goes
It goes,
down.
no, 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 no. And I liked the tonality of it, but I wanted to go to pitch up. So I
Mm.
just like inverted that so it's kind of a climbing effect instead of going the other way.
Yeah, that's cool. I like how you heard something that you liked, and then the thing that you liked inspired you, but then it like inspired you to take it in a new direction. And that's another thing I think is interesting about how inspiration works, how like the things around us um, can trigger that, you know, and it spawns off on these new ideas. So in this, like, did y'all have the lyrics or how did the vocals come about in this? Was it after y'all had the
so
beat or is this in the Middle
so on the
Kingdom?
the middle kingdom,
Yeah.
she wrote the main vocal part on the Middle Kingdom, I believe. And
Yeah.
then I think I sent it back to J-Mac, and did you just rework it? And then she sang other stuff later.
I think
Sang like the last
I think
verse later.
that last verse was already in the track, and I just moved stuff around. Because yeah, she
I
had a bunch
remember
of
she
different.
she she definitely re-sang something. She re-sang something for sure. Because
But
I had
the
so many
lyrics
vocal takes. It
the
was
lyrics
insane.
were similar, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Okay. It was kind of like a amalgamation.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I heard that Flume sometimes will make a song or like a chord structure for a vocalist, send it to them, have them record over it, and then just take away the whole beat and start a whole new song
Yeah.
with those
yeah,
vocals that were sung over a different song.
A
and
lot
I
of people start with like an acapella too, from like a pop song or whatever, and then um, delete it and they have a backing track for something else.
Yeah, I find
I
that
love
an interesting way of
Yeah.
finding inspiration that's not you know, just a sick sound, but like, oh, here's a emotion, you know, that's displayed through here, and then this emotion and melody sort of inform like how bass lines and bass progressions and chord progressions could be changed underneath that to create different emotions from the same melody.
yeah.
And I feel like that's sort of what I did with this thing. Maybe we could transition.
Let's
So
do it.
um, here, actually, I can show y'all a terrible earlier version of the song that I had in here, where you can see where it came from.
Is this like the first version?
The drum beats were there, and that bass line was there, but then I just took that and filled out. Oh, this is going to be a little glitchy on here. Yeah, Vital gets a little glitchy, but
Vital
that's
gets very glitchy.
yeah. But that's what I was using. Have y'all used Vital much at all?
I
Dude, I
haven't
had
at all.
Yeah, yeah, I have it. I had it for a while, and there was this super annoying issue. One time I shrunk it down really small, and then it wouldn't expand.
That's what's happening right now. I can't expand it.
And it was stuck like tiny no matter what I did. Even if I reopened the project, no matter what.
Oh, really? No, mine doesn't do that.
Yeah. I
Mine,
think I think they fixed it with an update for mine works at least now better.
yeah. I love Vital. It's just got a different sort of tonality than Serum, and a
Yeah.
different process in which you go about getting sound. So, um, I really enjoy just like having just slightly different tonalities and whatnot. So I guess here, let's play a little bit of this drop. So here's the fully fleshed out remix. Sax solo. That's so nuts that you just picked it up and had no idea what you're doing. Honestly, that's really impressive.
It's the same thing that I did with production too. I had more education with production, but I had some education with saxophone too, but
That's so crazy. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, with this song, like I just like basically took this vocal that y'all sing, and I was exploring around with different bass lines underneath it, and coming up with different things. And I eventually, went with this one. Oh, I think so. I've got like a Reese bass layered in here at the intro, and then for the drop, I wanted something that was like more in your face. So I went with this sound. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the only. There's that in a sub layer, and that's about it. And that's that vital patch where it's like I'm basically distorting a saw wave and like some other wavetable together, and it's through the distortion interacting between these two sounds that creates that grittiness. Let's see here. Oh no, my vital shrunk over here. Let's see here if I can get it to. There we go. Hey,
There
look,
you
it looks
go.
normal, except it's huge.
Except it's not
Yeah.
normal.
Does it?
Tis massive.
So, oh, actually, no, this was saw-like, but not exactly a saw. So yeah, so it's pitched up a lot. So without it, so it almost adds like this like wobble in there, and it's the distortion that's really. What was that?
Can you mute oscillator one? I just want to hear the second one just for a second.
Oh yeah. So it's like, got an LFO here on the harmonic stretch. And so it's like almost like wiggling in pitch. And so it's like the fact that they're being distorted, artifacts get created. And so without the compression and the distortion. And then there's the sub in the background. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think there is more distortion afterwards. Yeah, got my OTT, got some soothe on there. Really great plugin.
So
But yeah,
good.
but then while I was hearing that, it felt like almost too like nasally for me on the drop, and I was really enjoying like some future rhythm tracks around the time, and I was listening to I think Papa Con Rain, and I was really interested in how he got his sound and started experimenting, and I came up with this. It almost sounds like the track Rain a little bit, but it's like I don't know.
I love that sound so much.
Yeah.
Me too. It's interesting because it really has to do with the length of the MIDI notes and the legato on the sound. So this sound, is basically a patch and serum that is a clarinet. So, so it's a clarinet sample that was turned into a wavetable, and then yeah, that. And it's got some air. And so that's really the basis of the sound, and then the rest of it's just like making it bigger sounding and adding that panning with this hi-hat dancer. This is like one of my magic racks from the Magic Racks Ableton 4 series.
We're
where it's
hearing
like
everything in mono.
Oh, you're hearing
At
in
least
mono?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's recording in stereo. So
Okay, good.
should be good there. But yeah, but it like moves around, it just makes it sound really big. And when it's played live, it just sounds super epic, which you've been playing it out live for a couple fests. I saw a cool clip of you down in, where were you? In Mexico?
Yeah, Cancun with Millennium.
In Cancun. That looked like a lot of fun. You're playing a big pool party there.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, I saw some video of everyone like splashing in the water at the same time.
Yeah.
That I'd never seen that before. That looked fun.
Super fun.
But yeah, so that's just like this top end sound. So it's like this sort of pretty sparkly sound, and because of the legato, it almost like changes it into one note. So it's like doo-doo, but then there's some staccato notes here. So doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. You know, technical terms here. And so I think that's where
I've been loving that vibe lately, like some sort of ARP on top of a huge bass or a huge pad.
Yeah, I think it's like also sort of an ostinato, I guess is what this would be called, because it's just doing basically the same ARP over and over again, but then the bass line is changing underneath it. Yeah. And so it's like this emotional play off of the melody in relationship to the bass line. Like as the bass line notes change, the context in relationship to the melody gives a different emotional quality. Yeah. And then I think this is also I don't know what all this is doing. No, I guess I turned that off. I've been doing this a lot on projects where instead of creating wubs, I just automate the volume.
Yeah.
That's been fun, but I guess I decided not to do that on this song.
And I really like that, actually. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so what I've been doing is, this kind of shape. Makes it more dubsteppy. I've been doing that in a lot of my.
I like it
songs.
full wall of sound style. The way you had it.
Well, I felt like for this song it worked better as a wall of sound. But the technique I use a lot in some of my current music, and then I think
you used your like Skrillex style mixing mastering.
Oh yeah, so that's another thing. You can see all the groups here, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that was the thing that was like one of my more popular YouTube videos, is talking about this process where there's like groups, and each group has a Pro L limiter on it, except for the ones that don't, and they're being routed directly to the master. And so the whole idea is that I can push really compressed elements like the drums and the bass and compress the heck out of those, while having like the melodics and the vocals, like, and the top ride cymbals and whatnot be able to retain their dynamics while there's this super compressed like fundamental of the bass and the drums. So that way you can have extreme compression and very little compression layered together.
Do you limit the drums as well, or do they go straight to the master?
The drums get limited to heck. They go through the kick and snare group, and then they also get sent to a pre-master where the bass and the kick and snare are compressed together.
Mm.
But also, I sort of approach limiting almost from the opposite sense. Like, I feel like a lot of people have something quiet and they bring down a limiter to like boost up the level, while I actually push the volume of the sample into a zeroed out limiter. So you can see here this limiter, it's glitching out, but it's because I'm on a second screen here. So the second screen glitches for some things, but it's got 0 dB gain. But here I'm taking the snare sample and boosting it up 4 dB into the limiter instead of pulling down on the limiter.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's just sort of my approach. It seems to, I think either way is good, but I just,
how hard do you hit that limiter?
let's see here. It depends on other things. But this one's not hitting that hard. It's at -6, -7, which is an average amount. I've seen Skrillex hit like -14 on his fab filters for some things.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to retain some dynamics for these things. But yeah, and also I really like the kick placement for this song and like these little skippy little Billy things.
Yeah, super cool.
With like a fake drop. And then there's like some of these like triplet little kicks. I always, I don't know, I'm such an IDM fan that the crazier the drum beat, the better, but I'm also a dancing fan, and the simpler the drum beat, the better. So it's always a weird dance between those two interests of mine. But yeah, and then, yeah, top drums there's nothing on them, just the straight samples. I always like adding in a lot of top drums. This is something I learned from He Who Must Not Be Named Anymore. Even though
R.I.P.
Even though we've learned that, you know, he's made many poor decisions in his life and habits and behavior, I still respect, you know, the inspiration that he shared with me.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's where I'm at on the whole bass nectar thing.
Yeah.
It sucks he was turned out to be full of bad behavior.
Yeah, really, really fucking disappointing.
Yeah. But, you know, it seems like it was a moment for the scene to sort of grow and also sort of realize, you know, we don't want those kinds of things.
Yeah.
In our scene.
Totally.
Absolutely.
But, you know, shitty decisions beside, I feel like it was a great decision to reach out to y'all. I think I reached out to you, Aaron, right? Where I was like, let me remix this song.
Yeah.
And I was so, when I heard the original, I was just so stoked on it, and the vocal. Because, like, here's a thing. I don't think I told you all this, but I think I mentioned it in like a Instagram post somewhat recently. But just like the vibe and the lyrics and the song named Cliffs, like, really connected with a personal experience in my life. Did I tell you all about this?
Yeah. We talked about it when I
when
was
you
at
were
your
visiting
spot.
up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I all fuzzy? I think I'm all fuzzy, but that's okay. My camera's fucked.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
Here, just move around or something. Whoa, he's got moves. Do you do martial art? Have you ever done martial arts?
I have, yeah.
Okay. I don't know why your dance moves told me that. Growing up, one of my best friends, he didn't know how to dance, but he studied a lot of martial arts, and so whenever he danced, he would just go through all of his different kung fu poses, but like to the beat.
Sick.
Yeah. So he was actually one of my best friends who died in this car crash. His name was Danny. My friends Danny and Warren. I got a picture of up here, and yeah, I was like a miracle survivor in a car crash, and this car flew off a cliff. You know, my two best friends passed away, and they've sort of been with me, you know, in spirit, you know, all this time. This happened in like 2010, January 1st, 2010. And yeah, that was obviously a difficult experience, but over time, I'm like getting to express it through music. And so that's why this song particularly means a lot to me, because it connected me with the emotions of that experience. Just like, you know, some of her lyrical content. I'm flying off the edge. Da, da, da. It's like there's almost like this emotional strain, you know, and like longing to like flying off a cliff and then just flying through the air and doing something impossible.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what I did. Something impossible. And then here at the very end of the song, I had to include some car crash noises to just like reference back to that. And like this is sort of what it sounded like, you know, with this, the car. Oh, it's so quiet, but it's in there. That's what it sounded like when I woke up.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, creating that car experience, you know, so it's like definitely a heavy emotional experience, but I think that's what makes music so amazing, is that you can have this catharsis of this event, you know, and express those emotions and realities of being a human, in a beautiful artistic way that resonates with other people, you know, and they can have their own unique experiences with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, man. That's powerful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Here, I think I'm gonna close that, and I think we'll start to wrap up here. I think we've been recording for 50 minutes or so, but
Awesome.
yeah, this track is so dope. There's a whole compilation actually of remixes that people
Yeah.
can go check out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Man, you are blurry.
I know. I think it's
Oh
like,
wait, no, you just cleared
like,
up for a second there. Oh,
no,
Yeah.
it's like,
No,
it's like zoomed super, I don't know.
it's like the autofocus or something is,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's zoomed. You're
It's
on
zoomed for
Zoom.
sure.
We're dealing the best
Yeah.
with what we got.
Yeah.
But I super appreciate y'all coming on here, and here it will provide a link below on the YouTube vid of where everyone can go check out the full compilation. Who else is on there?
We got you and Defunk, Megan Hamilton.
Afterthought, Jenga, Base
Pfeiffer.
Physics, Pfeiffer. Yeah.
A lot of
Jason Leach.
Jason Leach.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of really great producers. Thank
Yeah.
you so much too for remixing it, man. I really love playing your remix in my sets.
Defunk.
Yeah. Defunk has
Did
a
we say
great
that?
one. Yeah.
I want to make sure we don't miss anybody, dude. There's so many. It's so awesome. I've never done a remix album or a remix EP before. And it's just so cool to hear everybody's takes on, you know, something that I was a part of. So I'm grateful to everybody.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's it's super cool. I've never done that, so I can only imagine what it's like to like work on something, go through three kingdoms, you know, and then like there's all these other kingdoms of
Yeah.
creative, inspirational takes.
Yeah.
And
The multiverse.
I'm happy
The
to be part of
multiverse.
the multiverse of y'all's creation.
Maybe we should
Thank
make NFTs.
Ooh. Yeah. That
We'll
would
have
be
to
pretty
talk
cool.
about that soon.
Yeah.
I love the art. Who did the
I'm
art?
back.
Yeah.
Who did the art for the release?
I believe a gentleman named Damien.
Oh, I can see you now.
I know, I'm back. Logan, actually, Defunk normally does all my art, but I think he was busy for this one.
Mm.
Yeah,
He's a dad,
so-
fresh dad.
Fresh Dad. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
just
Oh,
were
went on
just
tour
hanging out with
together.
him.
Nice.
He
Yeah,
came and played
it
a show
was
here in Arcata.
cool. It was wild. He was flying in and out of the tour, back and forth from Canada.
Whoa.
So yeah, we would play 3 or 4 shows, whatever it was for that weekend. Then he would fly home for a few days and then fly back and then play 3 or 4 shows. And it was not like an easy tour. Like it was grueling. We had long travel days, and I was really respecting his dedication to both music and his family. So that was pretty inspirational.
Yeah, it's amazing how inspiration, not just in music, but just in seeing people's dedications to their passions, if that passion is family or and music, and how to balance our passions.
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
So I think that's another cool little nod to inspiration and the many different forms that it comes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Agreed.
yeah. Well, I think this is a good spot for us to end this. And thank you both so much. And I'll provide links of
Thank you,
where
brother.
everyone can go and listen to y'all's music. All your socials and everything will be down below as well. And the link to the compilation and the original song. All right,
Cool.
aliens, I hope y'all enjoy this. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.